So my name is Shruti Sharma. Uh, I was born in Bijnor, educated in New Delhi. I have been a student of history, sir. I like to learn new things, explore new cultures through food, cinema, languages, and books. And I would like to label myself as an optimist, sir.
Anything else?
So I have been a student of history, so history is something which deeply motivates me. At the same time, sir, I do wish to enter the civil services and make some change in the world and in the society around me. And issues of women, issues of governance, issues of education deeply interest me, sir.
So your optional is history.
Yes, sir.
What is history?
So history in simple terms can be seen as a study of the past, but it is not merely a study of facts, but how, why they happened, and attempts to learn from them can be seen as the study of history, sir.
These days there are a lot of debate about rewriting of the history.
Yes.
What is your opinion about this rewriting of history?
Yes, sir. So I believe history has always been written and rewritten over time, sir. Because history is not just a mere set of facts, but how we look at them, sir. And those who write them look at them differently. At the same time, sir, I believe that there should be a respect to the sources that the discipline of history values, and any such rewriting should be based on certain sources, such as numismatics or archival sources or archaeological sources, sir.
Can history will create a war for future? If you have a lot of conflicts about the evidences, there are two types of ways, such as a Macaulay way of history and rewriting history in the Indian context. Will it create a lot of chaos in the Indian society?
Sir, I believe debate and discussion is essential in any democracy, sir. And as long as those discussions and debates are not based in hatred, are not based in conflict, are not based in violence, sir, I think any sort of debate and discussion can lead to a more fruitful result rather than conflicts.
Okay, Shruti, in your choice of services, you have offered service, police service also. It's not a very sort of highly liked. A policeman carries some sort of a different image. What is the liability, image he carries? He or she. And still you want to join the police service?
Yes, sir. So, the police services are highly valued services in the entire administrative spectrum, sir. And I do believe that the power and the change that a police servant can bring to the lives of the people, and the immediate recourse to any individual who has been struck by a personal issue, the immediacy with which a police officer can solve those issues is of utmost importance, sir, in the welfare of the people, sir. So,
do you think common man feels sort of confident in approaching a policeman? If not, why?
yes, sir. So I do believe in certain cases there are certain problems with the institution, as there are with all institutions, sir. That in terms of implementation, sometimes in certain areas the policeman is seen as aloof or not completely understanding or being sensitive to the concerns of the people, sir. But I think police reforms are ongoing, and the administration itself is working to bring about reforms, which is reducing
You
this
said
barriers.
about reforms. I think there has been a sort of Supreme Court judgment also.
Yes, sir.
Reforms in the police. Can you throw some light on that judgment, famous judgment? And
Sir,
what changes have been suggested by the Supreme Court? Honorable Supreme Court.
Sir, I think it is the Prakash Singh judgment which talked about reform in the criminal justice system, sir. So, increasing greater accountability was an aspect of those reforms, sir. At the same time, not all of the reforms of the Prakash Singh judgment have been implemented in terms of independent appointment of police officers.
Can you name one, point which is quite important in that judgment? The directions which have been given.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm sorry, I can't recollect fully, but I think there was a police establishment board and the state, which was an independent body to appoint the police officers.
Okay, my last question to you. What 2 steps, suppose you are selected and posted in the district,
Yes.
what 2-3 steps you would like to initiate to improve the security of women in your area?
Yes, sir. So I've been educated in Delhi, and the issue of women's safety is an important concern in Delhi specifically, sir. So, sir, I think women's safety is not about a single step or a few steps. It needs to be an overall environment that we need to provide to women where they can safely travel. So transit-oriented development where there are
Yeah,
less...
as a police officer, what 2-3 steps you would like to take?
Sir, firstly, reducing dark spaces. So use of technology such as CCTV cameras to ensure that any dark spaces where criminals
Okay,
can
dark
happen.
spots. Okay.
Yes, sir. So secondly, ensuring that immediate services are provided, so a helpline number and women constables and community policing of sorts, so that the gap between the people and the police is reduced in the long run, and they can feel comfortable talking to the police can be another step.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello Shruti, how are you?
Good, sir.
You are from Bijnor.
Yes, sir.
Describe Bijnor.
Sir, Bijnor is a district located in western UP, sir, and the river Ganga flows through it. So it is a very fertile district, and therefore sugarcane is one of the major crops of Bijnor, and correspondingly the sugar industry is very well developed with more than 5 biggest sugar mills located in the district, sir. In terms of historical importance, the place Vidurkati is associated with it, and the birthplace of King Bharat. In terms of personalities, sir, important poets like Dushyant Kumar, film personalities like Vishal Bharadwaj, and even historical figures like Abul Fazl and Faizi associated with Akbar's court are linked with Bijnor, sir.
Good. Why do you consider yourself as an ideal candidate for civil services?
Sir, I think I have certain qualities which may make me an appropriate candidate for the job, sir. Firstly, I think, sir, my personalized ethic of dedication and ability to work well with deadlines in an organized manner, sir, is something that makes me appropriate for the job. Secondly, sir, my ability to work well in teams, as I have been told by some of my friends as well. I do have good interpersonal skills, and in the past also I have been able to work well in groups, so that is an advantage, sir. So thirdly, I think my interest in the field, my interest in serving people around me, and my dedication towards that goal, sir, is something that makes me a fit for the jobs.
Fantastic. You have been a cultural secretary in St. Stephen's College.
Sir, I was a cultural secretary in my school, sir, Sardar Patel
School.
Vidyalaya.
Okay, fine. So you must have some leadership experience when you were imparting that particular role. So what were the leadership learning for you?
Sir, I think it was a great experience for me as the cultural secretary in my school, and we organized all the major cultural events in the school, sir. So some things that I learned, which I hadn't learned before I performed that role, sir, was the importance given to each team member in a leadership role. We can't assume all responsibility ourselves. The amount of trust that we need to put in other members' abilities and our group members' abilities is very important, sir. Secondly, sir, I think along with the giving of responsibilities, we also need to make sure of the micro aspects of it as well as the macro aspects. So just focusing on a goal and not looking at the micro details is something that a leader cannot not afford to do, sir. And thirdly, sir, constantly motivating people around us, and not being a negative presence and being only overtly critical is something that a good leader also must